Beltran. He is a co-founder of a startup here that's really cool. I believe it's pronounced Elequa. It's utilizing an innovative technology. It drastically reduces energy consumption, production cost, also waste in the water purifying process. And it won the Regional Sustainability Award for the Clean Tech Open in 2013. Right now, he is focused on reducing the cost of drinking water for communities in Mexico. Please welcome Ryan Beltran!
Hello, everybody. I want to talk a little bit about connecting the dots of how somebody who's a photographer had dabbled in being an artist, became co-founder of a startup for a water treatment technology. It actually began with this young couple here. They were responsible for creating me. This is my mom and dad. I was born and raised here in San Antonio, and actually I get a lot from these parents. They're really supportive. My mother actually had a background in photojournalism and also a little activism, which is tagging a wall in Mexico. So I get a little bit of that. Oh, sorry, thank you. So I get a little bit of the activism, sort of the hippie side, the photojournalistic and artsy side from my mom. And this is my father, actually, and he has a background sort of in entrepreneurship. He has his own business here in San Antonio, successful for 25 years. He's sort of the story of coming to America with 20 bucks in his pocket, and now he's got a great business. So I learned a lot about being an entrepreneur and starting up a business and really everything that goes into that. And my parents were very great at helping nurture my creativity and helping me with whatever endeavors I really enjoyed doing. And towards the beginning, I really got into photography. As soon as I got into photography, I just loved it, took off, and I always have a camera on me. Right now, I actually use the iPhone a lot, actually, just because it's always with you. And here I am, just out in desert Mexico, filming, I don't know what, a cactus. And they would say I get lost in my camera because I'm just very passionate about that, just capturing these little moments that maybe a lot of other people may not see. It's just something I really I'm driven to do. So I also got into film as well. And when I got into film, I actually was able to go get an internship up in New York with one of my favorite directors. And I got to see how some really big deal productions work. It really opened my eyes to just how within reach they are. And this is one of the big productions I got to do. And I was an intern and a guy that would get you coffee, and then you got lucky and got to take a photo with the white stripes after you were done. But I really learned how big productions work, and that's what I took from this big production that I worked with, or this company. And then I worked for a small startup, and they actually did graphic design. I did a lot of animation. I set up this photo that was a lot of fun to do. And so I got to see also how a small company comes into being, and they eventually got into making Super Bowl commercials. It got pretty big. It was pretty awesome. But then after that, I actually just started continue traveling, doing documentaries. I actually got caught by the Google map car in Mexico City. Well, I didn't get caught. I saw it, so I posed. It took a second. And so I always am passionate about doing two things at once. Whether it be documenting while I'm traveling. This is actually a photo, one of my favorite photos that I took in Thailand at a wedding. And so I just really like to capture those moments that maybe other people do not see. And this sort of passion of mine also began to bubble up in my travels and my activism. And the next thing that I began doing was sort of getting more involved in, what are the major things going on in the world, what's going on in politics, how can I help, how can I give back. And this is a picture I took in Venice, just one of my favorite photos as well. And it took me to Occupy Wall Street when it first happened for the first few weeks. So I was really passionate about seeing what these people were up to, what they were doing, how they were trying to change the world, because I really admired that. and I met some very smart, very brilliant people out there. Now, shortly after this, actually, my father was like, I got something interesting here. There's this technology that can treat water. My father, having had his business for over 25 years, a lot of it has to do with actually water treatment. And so he knows a lot about it, but he'd never seen anything quite like this. And he knew I liked sustainability and activism and sort of, trying to give back with what I'm doing. And he said, you should check out this product or this technology. And what it actually does is with an electric current, it actually can separate the pollutants from water. And it's a small electric current, and that's about it. It's very little, very simple, very efficient. And I just was fascinated by it. My passion just really got into this because this is just perfect. I'm into science, into technology, and I want to do anything I could to promote and push this technology, get it in more labs, get it out there where it can really help people that really need it. Because water, I don't need to tell you guys, water's just so important right now. And what we sort of focused on is getting this into smaller communities in Mexico, because right now, families can spend up to 10% of their income on water, buying bottled water, because it's imported. They don't like the tap water. The tap water is unhealthy, so they buy bottled water. And they don't really think of it right away, but it really can make an impact on a wide variety of families, from poor to middle class. And just the other day, actually, I went out to Medina. I wanted to talk a little bit about, growing up in Texas and in San Antonio. I was really aware of, drought and what it's like. They really were great at educating me about, conserving water. So it really, it's something I paid attention to, I stuck with, and I'm very passionate about. So this is sort of me now and how I got here from being a photographer and an artist. Now, I've taken all these bits and pieces that I've learned along the way to try to make a better startup, better business, and sort of throw a little bit of creativity and art into there when I can too. So hopefully this sort of passion can, ignite something that you're into or something in your area. So thank you very much.
Checking. All right, so an artist, you worked in big productions, you worked in a startup, and now what is the technology called that you use for the water?
It's called electrocoagulation. It's kind of a mouthful, but you're seeing a lot more and more of this technology. It's low cost, very efficient, and it's just going to be the future of how water's going.
Now, is that sold through your company, or you hook people up with that, or how does that work?
Right now we're working on pilot systems to get out there in Mexico, starting with north central Mexico, to start making kiosks where you can come refill your water jugs.
And it's called Elecqua?
Elecqua, yes. Right.
And now, there are people here who might think of starting up a company, and you've been involved in a couple of them. Mm-hmm. What would you tell them? What's your best advice for somebody thinking of a startup?
Keep at it. That's just it. Keep at it. Get advice where you can. Just keep with it if you're very passionate about it and you really believe it.
And where can they get more information about Elecqua?
Just elecquatech.com, or come ask me and I'll answer any questions.
All right, give it up for Ryan Beltran. Thank you very much.